Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm sitting out here in my chair, and my chair feels like it's about to break. So if it does, we're coming to you live from my balcony. First of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in last night to my podcast and for all the positive feedback I've gotten. Everybody was hitting me up with text messages and inbox messages telling me that it was a great show. Um, to reiterate, I just talked about that it seems to be two Americas emerging from this first wave of COVID-19, and whatever's going to be is going to be, but I'm going to spread my wings. I'm probably, even though I'm going to move with some caution, I'm not going to move with fear. I'm ready to spread. I'm ready to spread my wings. I'm ready to get out and get back into society, not for the sake of economy, but for the sake of, I just feel in my spirit that it's time. I talked a little bit last night about George Floyd and where we are with that. And just to reiterate, I feel like the state attorney general has to step in and charge him, especially given his history. Um, he was so deliberate in his actions. He was so comfortable doing what he was doing. I kept wondering in the back of my mind whether it was his first time. And then, this thing came out with Amy Klobuchar, and she had an opportunity to prosecute him when she was a district attorney in Hennepin County, right there in Minneapolis. I know the area very well. I've got family there, so it touches me in a lot of ways. But she had a chance to deal with him and prevent George Floyd's eventual death. And she didn't do anything. I really think they need to step in at this point and set a precedent that when cops behave like thugs, when cops willingly commit nothing short of murder, then they will be handled like murderers. They will be charged with murder one. They will be charged and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I think if that happens, then we're going to see some congruency, some equality when it comes to how black men are accosted by law enforcement. There's a huge disparity between white men who roam the streets with impunity, armed to the hilt with guns and rifles and all kind of weapons of what you would call a mass destruction, and have no fear of being able to make it home safely. And on the other hand, black man can't go out and eat ice cream or exercise or any of these things without fear of, why are we as black people in this new millennium still telling our sons, when the police stop you, put your hand on the wheel? Why don't white people have to tell their sons that? So there has to be some congruency. There has to be some equality. There has to be some accountability. There has to be a precedent set that if you do this, a life is a life is a life. If you did this to Bob, a Biff, a Todd, then you would be treated one way. You would be treated like the murderer that you are. So it should happen regardless to the color of the person's skin and the color of the person's skin that's committing the crime. So I'm not going to go off on a tangent. The last thing it brought to mind was Amy was supposed to be kind of the top dog in as Joe Biden's running mate. And it just brought to mind something else that I've been saying. And I know this is turning into another podcast, and that was not my intention, but it was on my mind, so I need to get it off. We are going to this thing where we're just so hell-bent on trying to find a woman to be president or vice president that we're just selecting a woman, not the best person for the job. So I think, and I said this before, and I still feel it in my spirit, I know it may be something unpopular to say to some women, but I'm going to speak to all women, not just black women. If the right woman comes along, I think she's going to make such a splash that we are going to know that it's time. We can't just decide. I liken it, I use the analogy of integrating the professional sports. Branch Rickey looked at several people before he chose Jackie Robinson, and he knew when he met Jackie that it was time and this was the person. And I think when Barack came along, he had something special that transcended race. And I think when the right woman comes along, it's going to be that same relationship with the public. So let's back up. Let's stop just trying to pick something because of its race or because of its gender, and let's just find the best people to do the job, so that 46% of registered voters don't do what they did in 2016 and stay home. I hold fast that I really believe that Biden is the right person for this time. I do believe he's only going to be a one-term president because there are some things that's going on that I think he needs to do, and then he needs to be able to step aside. So his running mate is going to be very important. History teaches us that George H.W. Bush was kind of the right man for the time, and we didn't see it at the time, but he chose Dan Quayle. And Quayle was definitely not presidential enough to step in. So if we want to look at a two-term Democratic president, we have to start with Biden, but then Biden has to make the choice of the best person, the best qualified person, not just be hell-bent on it being a woman. So those are my opinions. I got something to say, and damn it, I'm going to say it because I feel it's true. When others start to say it, then you're going to realize yourself, I got something to say. It must be true. Good morning. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And hey, Leo, I see you there, babe. Long time no see. Holla at it, brother. Y'all enjoy. Bye.